Hey, thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me. I'm your host, Eric Lane, another edition of the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. Hey, listen, wanted to address something that I think we all have in common, and that's our finances, and to be able to evaluate our finances. There's some things that's kind of come about in my life, and I thought that I would share some of this stuff with you. That is, and I've talked about consulting and looking at expenses and ways to produce more income and things like that. That's kind of the premise where I come from. But when you look at your finances, I strongly encourage you to do, at the minimum, annual financial checkup, an annual checkup of your finances. And what I mean by that is to take a look at, not only your investments and where they're going and what they're doing, and that's probably a deep subject or a deep episode that we can have later. But for right now, I want you to concentrate on your expenses. And this is something that everybody that's listening to me right now should be doing, and understand that your expenses can get out of control. They can be, way over the top, more than they need to be. First off, let's look at insurance. Take a look at for the sake of argument, look at your car insurance. That your car insurance can be, a very big part of your expenses. And if you're not calling your agent and saying, hey, how can I get my expenses down? And one of the things that people don't really understand about insurance and insurance agents is that most people think that the insurance company dictates your price, and it is your agent that dictates the price, because your agent takes a percentage of your premium, and if your agent is taking a high percentage, then you're paying more than if you were at a company where the agent takes less of a percentage. So, if you've got vehicles, and whether it's liability or full coverage, doesn't matter, you need to be comparing and understanding that an agent that is willing to take less of a percentage is going to save you money. For the same coverage, you're not letting any coverage go. You don't have to take higher deductibles. You just have to find the right agent. It's the same way with let's say that you have cable TV, and Lord knows that I remember back in the day growing up with, cable TV, paying for TV was crazy. Exactly. I'm one of those guys that I remember 3 channels on the TV, whatever, but I get it. And I've stated before that, entertainment is for people that aren't really focused on their education. Entertainment is a time waster. But the bottom line is most people do have cable TV. So if you have it and you see those premiums, they get you with these introductory rates, and you come on board, it's a great deal. We're going to save you so much money. They all pitch it, and then you sign up for it. You get the hook. They got you, and then slowly after 3 months, 6 months, you're like, wow, man, this is more than I thought. And that's because they set things to automatically raise, because once they got you, the chances of you switching are very low, and they know that. They're looking for the loyalty. They're looking for a customer that doesn't want to have the hassle of switching again. They're looking for the customer that just is satisfied with what they've got, and they just go ahead and pay it. Don't be that person. Challenge every bill and expense that you've got. Challenge everything. Your automobile insurance, your homeowner's insurance, whatever that you've got out there, challenge it. Compare it. Talk to people that know people. It's imperative for you. I mean, you can save literally hundreds of dollars a month just by going ahead and putting in some of the effort to challenge these bills. And I don't care what bill it is. Again, insurance, cable premiums, whatever you see that's raising, your electric bill, your gas bill, whatever it is. I've called and challenged every institution that I pay $1 to. If I've got a bill in the mail for a service, I will challenge them to give me the best rate possible. And it doesn't take that much time to research it online and to go, hey, I can get this for this, I can get that for that. Why are you charging me this? You owe it to yourself to be the person in charge of your finances. Because if you're not, they're just going to keep on socking you. They're going to keep on raising. They're going to keep on drilling you for cost and fees when you could be saving hundreds a month. And then that money that you save, let's say that you're able to go ahead right now and take a look at all of your finances, and you're able to make some phone calls, and you're armed with some research, and you're able to save. I've known people that have done this, have saved $200 a month. But let's say that you only save $100 a month. Okay, that's $100 that you're paying out going to get the same services that you normally would have gotten, but you get to save $100. So what do you do with that $100? That's when you invest that $100. If you're okay with your outgoing and incoming, and you can save that money, invest it, because that money will make you money. If you're a business owner and you've got somebody in accounts payable that just pays the bills, that just goes, yeah, we're going to pay this. Go ahead and pay that. Go ahead and pay that. We've signed up for it. Boom, 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 boom. That person in accounts payable doesn't look at the increases. They're just doing their job. They're paying the bill. If you're a business owner, you need to make sure that your accounts payable is taking a look at any and all contracts that you've signed, whether it's for computer software programs that you need to run your business, or just the electric and the overhead. All your overhead needs to be examined. All of your expenses that are necessary to your business need to be examined. Listen, you don't owe any of these utility companies and companies that make money off you. You don't owe them anything other than what you've agreed upon. I was talking with a friend of mine, and he was telling me that he signed up with a software company, and after 3 months it increased. He calls him up and says, why has it increased? Oh, well, they really couldn't give him a good answer. And we'll correct it. Okay, so they corrected it. Boom, all right, good. Doesn't have to pay that. Guess what happened 3 months later? Another increase. Calls him up. Oh, we don't really know why it increased. We'll correct it. It corrected it. Okay, 3 times in a row. Now, this is a 2-year contract. 3 times in 3 months, it increased. He finally said, look, you guys are going to continue to do this because that's what you do. That's the strategy of your business, is to just count on people not paying attention and going ahead and paying it. And it's true. That's right. These companies, these introductories and these promises, they go by the wayside because they feel like once they got you, they got you. And percentage-wise, they're right, because most people just go ahead and pay it, thinking that, okay, well, this is the cost of business. It's not. If you don't challenge it, who's going to? It's your business. It's your money. Keep that money in your pocket. If you get the same services for $90 versus $150, why pay $150? Pay the $90. It is the financial checkup. It is the financial obligation that you have to yourself to make sure that you're continuing to do the best business that you can. Now, as an individual, again, I implore you, make sure that you shop every expense. You need, tires on your car. Shop everything. Do your research. There's ways to save money on everything. I really pride myself into making sure. Am I a penny pincher? Well, yes, I am, and I'm proud of it. Am I frugal? Yes, I am, and I'm proud of it. If there's something that costs what it costs and I really want it, and that's the cost, and I can't get around the cost, but I really want it, fine, I'll I'm going to buy it. That's okay. If you're okay with it, then it's okay. But make sure that you're not overpaying for anything. If there's a service that can be dealt to you in a more efficient manner, a more low-cost manner, then make sure you're taking advantage of the low-cost manner. Do not submit to pay what they tell you to pay. It's going to kill you. It gets out of hand. You understand, do your research, because it's all going to benefit you in the long run. All right? Not a very long podcast. I just wanted you to understand that it's your obligation to make your own way through the world, and by doing so, cutting costs and taking those cuts and adding them into your portfolio. Again, not going to get into where and how you should invest your money. That's not what this podcast is about, although I encourage you to do so, but find a competent, qualified person to assist you with your investments. If you're not investing, please do so. Even if it's $10 a month, whatever it is, invest something. Make a road for your future. But as I've stated before, in all of my consulting, the first thing that I do is look at expenses, but I don't look too hard into it because a lot of expenses are necessary. If you start making expense cuts that is damaging to a company, it ruins your credibility as a consultant, and it doesn't do anything for the company. They feel like they've spent money on a consulting service that didn't really benefit them. But you have to look at expenses first. And this is a very simple formula. That's why I'm giving it to you right now. It's a very simple formula. All you got to do is make some phone calls. Do just a little bit of research. Make some phone calls. Has your insurance agent contacted you in the last 6 months or a year or 2 years? If they haven't, they're just riding the wave. Just keep paying. They're sitting back getting rich while you're paying the bill. Screw that. You pay a minimum for what you need. Whatever your needs are, it's up to you to pay the minimum, because God knows competition is out there everywhere. The competitive market is out there, and you take advantage of that competitive market. That's what makes capitalism so wonderful, and that what makes you get ahead in life is by taking advantage of all the opportunities. Okay, doing your business, doing it right, but not letting people take advantage of you. And quite frankly, I get pissed when I feel like somebody's taking advantage of me. I get pissed at them, and I'll let them know it too. Not that it does much good, because they get so many other customers they're taking advantage of. They're like, one caught us. One guy caught us. Yeah, so be it. But be that one guy. Be that one person. Be the person that catches them taking advantage of you. Don't let them take advantage of you. Don't let anybody take advantage of you. Okay? Your financial responsibility is yours. Nobody else is going to do it. If you're running a business, make sure that you know exactly where the numbers are. Have your team on it. Save yourself some money. Anyway, okay, enough about that. I think I got my point across. I appreciate you listening to me today, and hopefully after this podcast, you'll start taking a look at your expenses and your finances, and then you'll delve into it and find ways to reduce the unnecessary cost of living. All right. Hey, thanks for joining me on the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. I'm your host, Derek Lane, and you can find me, email me rather, Derek@FastLanePodcast.com, Derek@FastLanePodcast. Yeah, I can't talk. Derek@FastLanePodcast.com, and find me on all your favorite outlets, YouTube, Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes, iHeart. And I appreciate you being with me so much. Like and share it with a friend. Thanks once again. I appreciate you so much. And until next week.